the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Asian blessing, now 10% off.
Ores and jewelry from Liue. You can't find a better deal anywhere else.
If you want to taste Mondstadt's great wine, then look no further than Sailing Breeze.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Asian blessing, now 10% off.
Ores and jewelry
Come on,
from
enough
Liue.
procrastinating.
You can't find a
Let's
better
go.
deal anywhere else.
Corruption seems rife in the Kanjo Commission. They truly are. All right, time for me to answer your questions. What would you like to know? Straight to the point. Let me reintroduce myself. I belong to the Kamisato clan of the Yashiro Commission on Narukami Island. I'm an attendant of the Shirasagi Himegimi.
You've been keeping your true identity a secret from us this whole time? So, the Yashiro Commission. Guessing that's another branch of the Tri-Commission?
Correct. The Kamisato clan is the head of the Yashiro Commission, who manage ceremonial and cultural affairs. I'd go into more detail on what exactly that covers, but I'm not even sure myself. I'm just someone who was fortunate enough to be taken in by the Kamisato clan. My role is to take care of the daughter of the clan, Kamisato Ayaka, also known as the Shirasagi Himegimi.
Seems like she must be super famous in Inazuma, given the reaction of those guys just now.
Oh, most definitely. She's graceful, dignified, and kind-hearted, too. The people of Inazuma quite adore Miss Kamisato. Her fame even somewhat eclipses that of her older brother, Kamisato Ayato, despite the fact that he's the current head of the clan. I suppose those who treat others with compassion earn themselves the same treatment in return. Miss Kamisato's situation certainly seems to attest to that. Take me, for example. I'm just an attendant, and yet she treats me as an equal, as she would a friend. You're asking the right questions, and to be honest, I don't want to keep you in the dark any more than is. Firstly, you should know that being a fixer is not something you can fake. I spent the better part of a month tirelessly building up a network of relationships on the island, and I got to know Captain Beto during that time.
Still pretty good going for just a...
Well, maybe I have a slight knack for schmoozery, but the main thing was I had to make sure I'd be in time to receive you when you arrived. Inazuma may have closed off to the outside world, but that hasn't stopped a lot of people from hearing about your feats in Mondstadt and Liue. So, when Miss Kamisato heard of your intention to come to Inazuma, she began looking forward to your arrival with great anticipation. She's excited to find out whether the rumors are true. That is, that you have what it takes to change the tide of the times.
Change the tide of the times?
In the test I gave you earlier, although there were a few hiccups at the end, it was you who found the way to turn the situation around. Navigating powerful people, using their character flaws to your advantage. It's just what Miss Kamisato had hoped to see. With your help, even the Vision Hunt decree... That's an unexpected development. Perhaps our sources were misleading. Yes, of course. I completely understand, and as agreed, I shall help set that up for you.
Toma sure didn't put up much of...
Well, my work on Rito is done. So I suppose this is goodbye for now. Oh, one more thing. This invitation letter is for you. When you get to Narukami Island, you can find me at the Komori Tea House, as per the letter. Good luck with everything. See you soon.
Toma's not such a bad guy, huh? We should... Huh? What's up? Oh, right! Paimon forgot all about that! Wait, so... did Toma forget that too? Oh, darn it! No wonder he was so matter-of-fact about the whole thing! As soon as we get off Ritu, Paimon's going straight to Komori Tea House to settle the score! Well, guess we should give it a try. Let's head to the border and see how far we get. If you want to taste monsters and great minds, then look no further than Sailor Green.
Stop there. Present your travel permits.
Sorry, but we really gotta get to Narukami Island. It's kinda urgent.
If you don't have a travel permit, this is as far as you'll get. Those are the rules.
As expected. Traveler, you gotta think of something. How do we get out of Rito? Are you saying we should go and meet with the Kanjo Commissioner? Guess it can't hurt to try. Even if Paimon has a few choice words to say about him, who knows? Maybe he's our biggest fan.
Halt! This is the Kanjo Commissioner's office. No trespassers.
We're here to see, the Kanjo Commissioner?
The Kanjo Commissioner seldom entertains outlanders. Leave now or we'll be forced to...
Ah, wait.
Oh, Commissioner!
These two are honored guests from afar. No need to give them the usual spiel. Come on in. Let's see what we can do for you.
Did you get all that, mister?
My sincere apologies.
I am Hiragi Shinsuke, Kanjo Commissioner and head of the Hiragi clan. It's an honor to meet you both.
Nice to meet you, sir. So, the reason we wanted to come and see you was because...
All right, all in good time. Two travelers renowned far and wide have shown up to see me, and I should very much like to make their acquaintance.
So what you're saying is, we really are pretty famous, huh?
Absolutely. How many other people in the world have what it takes to knock the wind out of Storm Terror's sails and put the Overlord of the Vortex back under the sea, eh?
Exactly! Paimon thinks you make an excellent point.
And I hear you also foiled a Fatui plot in Liyue Harbor. Even beat one of their harbingers in a duel.
Whoa, you heard about that too? Yep.
As I thought.
Something wrong?
No. I'm simply awestruck by you both is all. Rito is greatly honored to have you visit us. One other thing I heard about you is your great zeal for helping other people. This makes me wonder whether you might be so kind as to render your...
Oh, sure, no problem. Whatever you need, right?
Excellent. Well then. You must know the Qingxin. A flower grows on the mountaintops of Liyue.
Yep, we've picked a few of those before. So, you want us to go back to Liyue?
Yes, bring me 300 Qingxin, would you? Freshly picked, I mean.
Did Paimon hear that wrong?
Too much trouble, is it? Then how about this? We have a few items that need delivering. Perhaps you can help with that?
That sounds much more like it.
709 letters to...
Hey, what gives? How come you don't have people to do that already?
Terribly sorry. We're just a little short on people lately.
What sort of an explanation is that? Traveler, what are we going to do? Should we really help this guy?
That's the spirit. Don't keep me waiting too long.
You're seriously considering taking this job? The terms are ridiculous.
Halt, you two!
Huh? What did we do?
Miss Hiragi has a letter for you. She insists that you read it immediately.
A letter? Quick, let Paimon see. So this means she wants you to secretly meet her at night? But you didn't seem surprised at all by this. What's going on? Paimon knew something just didn't seem right about him. Let's ask her tonight and see what she has to say.
You finally arrived. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Hiragi Chisato. This is technically the second time we have met. It's a pleasure to see—
Wow. She's the daughter of the Hiragi clan, all right.
No need to be so formal. I've long marveled at your accomplishments. And at last, we have the chance to meet.
Is it Paimon, or does something seem a bit off?
The reason why I wanted to secretly meet you here is— well, I feared that I might never have another opportunity to discuss this with—
Discuss what?
Ahem. I should like to ask for your help with delivering a letter.
Like father, like daughter. Couldn't you be more original?
No, you misunderstand me. Please, allow me to explain. I was hoping that you could deliver a letter to Narukami Island in my stead. It is to be given to Kujo Kamaji of the Tenryou Commission. My father has always forbidden me from communicating with him. He knows that there are prospects for my marriage that would better serve him politically. But my heart is with Kamaji. There is no one who would dare defy my father's will on Rito, but you are Outlanders. Outlanders seeking to get to Narukami Island. It would—
Oh, Paimon gets the whole picture now.
Of course, in doing so, I will also do everything in my power to help you leave Rito. That is my promise. To be perfectly honest, as long as you remain in Inazuma, my father will have no intention of letting you leave Rito.
Yeah, we figured as much. It was pretty obvious he was just trying to hold us.
I secretly overheard a conversation between my father and a very arrogant-sounding woman they seemed to be discussing how to keep you here on Rito. In fact, it was the first time I had ever heard my father speak so respectfully to someone who wasn't the Shogun. We don't have much time. I'll tell you my plans to help you off the island. It just so happens that a shipment of... Very well. I'll be waiting for you at the border. I'm counting on you to deliver. Hold on, please. These goods are being sent to Watatsumi Island?
My lady, this is an unexpected honor. You are correct. These goods have been repeatedly requested by the Kanjo Committee.
Is there something wrong, Lady Hiragi?
No, as you were. My father simply has some concerns of the shipment's safety, and has ordered that myself and an additional qualified escort be dispatched to ensure safe transport of the goods.
My lady, you aren't suggesting that you intend to escort this shipment personally, are you? There's certainly no need for you to trouble yourself with such—
Please, do not cause us any further delay. If memory serves me right, my father has already asserted that this shipment must arrive on time. I'm certain punishment will be due—
Yes, of course, my lady. It's just that, well, we don't know who this—
Now, need I remind you of the penalty if anything were to happen to me en route? I'm sure you are all quite familiar with my father's temperament. Do you really presume that you can fully guarantee my safety on your own?
Boy, Chisato can talk the talk. They don't stand a chance.
Yes, my lady. Very well then. It's an honor to have you accompanying us. Your safety is—
Shinojo, you can't really be agreeing to this.
Well, the request is from Lady Hiragi herself. It is our duty to serve her in the utmost—
Yes, but that's not the problem here.
Well then, if we're through here, I suggest we set off at once. Dawdling will only allow potential thieves more time to prepare, no?
Yes, my lady. You heard her?
My lady, please stay back. We'll handle it.
Not as well as we'll handle it.
Into the wind!
You're open.
Incoming.
Free! The wrong test subject. The wrong test subject.
It's my lucky day.
The wind's moves.
I got your light blade.
Cut to the chase.
Monster sighted. Prepare to counterattack. Protect Lady Hiragi at all costs.
We'll take care of this. Stay with Chisato. Speed of light.
Watch out! More monsters inbound. Lady Hiragi, stay close.
One with nature.
I'm going in. Cut to the chase. Don't blink.
Over.
You win.
This battle.
We can take refuge in the village up ahead. How are you faring, my lady?
I'm perfectly all right. You may stop here. The road to Narukami Island is just over there. In my letter, I've requested Kamaji to grant you a special travel permit from the Tenryou Commission. Consider it a token of my appreciation.
My lady.
So that's how it is. I had a feeling something was amiss, but Shinojo, you—
No, Lady Hiragi would never hide anything from us. I'm sure of it. But who is this Kamaji?
I'm not afraid to say that he's the one I love.
The one you love?
Shinojo, did you honestly—
What? No, I was just clarifying, that's all. I would never in my wildest dreams,
You two needn't worry. Please, forget that this ever happened. If my father catches word of it, I alone will be held accountable.
Yes, of course. As you wish, my lady.
But what will happen Chisato?
Don't fret. My father has always been one to spoil me. The worst he'd do is sentence me to half a day without food or some.
Huh. Paimon never suspected a guy like him could have a soft side.
I wish you a safe journey. I'm sure we will meet again.
Bye, Chisato!
Come now. Quit your staring and let's get moving. We've got goods to shift.
All right.
Whew! We're finally on our own way again. I suppose it's time we find Toma. Now, where did he say he would meet us again? Oh, right! Komori Tea House!
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night!
Thing or two.
You're toast! Speed of light!
Hide the fairy. Finally,
Incoming! Don't blink! Hey! Incoming!
boom! Thing or two.
Nowhere to hide.
Fairy, hide. I'm all for work-life balance, but I think this is pushing it.
Don't blink!
Got lucky that time.
Speed of light!
To move!
Into the wind.
Let's light it up! Hey!
To the very
One with nature. Time to go. The wind knows me.
Nice and spicy! Don't blink! Incoming!
As one with wind and cloud.
With sword comes shadow.
One with nature.
Speed of light! Yeah!
The wind knows me.
Cut to the chase! I've been to the outside world before.
Please speak to President Sung. I'm just a helper.
According to the letter, this should be the place.
Sorry, we don't serve the general public. I'm afraid you'll have to leave.
Wait! We're not the general public.
Well then, you must be a couple of wandering outlanders that snuck into the nation.
Are our clothes really so... what...
The Yashiro Commission's seal. This must be from Mr. Toma.
It seems there's more to you than meets the eye. In which case, welcome to the Komore Tea House, a safe haven for the Yashiro Commission.
Well, that sounds more like it. Well, now that we're here, where's Toma? Paimon doesn't see him anywhere. Do you think he forgot his promise to meet us?
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
What? Is that dog talking to us?
Relax, no need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form? Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
Now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
Alright, I've had my fun.
Hey! You're this close to getting an ugly nickname, mister!
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you, so I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little test you went through earlier. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face the lightning alongside us.
Don't think that Paimon's gonna forgive you just because you're getting all serious now.
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies. Let me just say this. You've often found yourself skirting the rules from the very beginning. Naturally, this is due to your unwavering and resolute determination. A long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same. But when the lightning struck... so you've heard of his story. His light still burns all the more brightly. Yes, of course. I will bring you to the Kamisato residence where the Yashiro Commission is located. But before that, there is one other place I was hoping you both would accompany me.
Oh? Where?
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already see it from practically anywhere on Narukami Island.
Books were more interesting.
Sure feels gloomy. People probably don't come here often. Huh? Are Paimon's eyes playing tricks? Or are there things embedded in the statue?
Visions.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt Decree are put into the statue?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt Decree. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contracts. As for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs, and the Sakoku Decree to limit the people's movement. The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to the other without disturbing it.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent vision, perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryou Commission to scour the nation for visions, embedding each one in this statue. And this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say that the Raiden Shogun is being... oh, I don't know.
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever dare speak out so directly, and yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt Decree is something that simply should not exist, and Miss Kamisato has been committed to fighting it since the day it was announced.
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then what?
Aspirations? That would seem to confirm the saying. Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents their ambition. So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined. All right, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Finally!
The new book from Yarn Publishing House. Come take a look.
Everything is going
Everybody stand back!
Into the wind! Falling leaves, adorn my night!
Hey, stop! Nowhere to hide. Speed of light!
One with nature.
Don't blink! With sword comes shadow.
Let's light it up!
Incoming!
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
Speed of light! Incoming! Don't blink!
One with nature.
Are you here to play with me? Incoming! Or the merry...
Into the wind.
No, nowhere to hide. Over here. Let me use my skills.
One with nature.
Don't blink. Speed of light.
I shall protect the Lady of the Clan.
I'm sure the Kamisato clan will be fine.
kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be snazzier.
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guests. Miss Kamisato is
Is this the Shirasage Himegimi you keep going on about? So, where's she at? Oh, behind the screen?
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving guests. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome surprise.
Makes sense. She's a super important person after all.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the times. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds, given the contact we are required to have with them in the performance of our duties. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation without also remaining indifferent to our own fate. Traveler, lend us your power, and we can... Oh.
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us nowhere.
No, please! Wait! Please, don't go! I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt Decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world.
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. I will await your return here. Then you have my gratitude.
I'm sure you'll do great. This world is full of unsolved...
Take this!
Told us about.
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden, after all these years?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to prepare. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please, we
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about. Let's go over and see.
Ah, you must also be here to try. Teijima has protected this place ever since, keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near. But now, all of a sudden, we will gladly apologize if that's the case.
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt decree. It's clear that Teijima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, he became... I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off on a walk. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do. But equally, it doesn't feel right to let him leave when he's in this state. Seems
like he's a well-respected guy around here. You must be Teijima. So what's made you want to up and...
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but true. But that's not why I chose to stay here. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I never wanted to leave in all that time? I don't have answers to those questions, because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away, it's like, in the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now.
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the reason you chose to stay, you won't need to leave anymore, right? But if you can't remember anything, it's not gonna be easy. Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then it'll all come
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some fruit, I do believe I saw him writing in a...
I keep a diary? If you say so.
Oh, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you wanted to make a note of a few interesting things.
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just...
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary.
This looks like Tejima's died. Let's see what we have today. The villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I missed today. I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend... I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going... Seems like your average diary of daily village life. Huh? Wait! There's more! I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is... Now that's the kind of info we're looking for! Time to pay a visit to the So this is the omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, but anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of his elemental energy remained on it. Somewhere that the soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe it must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for... It looks like a letter. The paper's gone yellow. Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again? So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for some... But he's been here for 30 years! Oh, guess they didn't show up in the end. Well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and take it...
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the But I have no memory of anything that's written in it still. It's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that I could share with her when we were finally reunited. And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. The time has flown by so quick. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Love, regret, everything I felt for her, it's all disappeared. No, not especially. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, her voice, it's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing but a hazy I think maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my... Although, what if she were to turn up eventually, only to find I didn't remember so much as her? When I think about it like that, how curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's... Thank you both for helping me reconnect with my reason for... I shall remain here and keep waiting.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay. But seems it's just like Ayaka and Toma were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose all your hopes and dreams too. That certainly explains the state Tejima was in. At least we were able to help him. Well, let's go find the next person. According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou mission. They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma. The ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt Decree. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation. How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai.
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this!
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang...
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us... He's keeping the provisions for himself. I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want us to help? Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa.
I've never even heard of these I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. If I was... My own family can barely get by as it is. No, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to attend to. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently...
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt Decree.
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details. All I know is that I will perform certain things every month. But I don't recall what they were, and it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like someone owes me something.
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provision?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard time. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders, which is why I came here in the first place. I was chasing after them when If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself. If there were any emergency provisions to be had, they would have found them.
Huh. He seems to be telling the truth, but we better confirm. Let's Let's go round up those treasure hoarders and see what they have to say. We should be able to follow their tracks. They couldn't have gone too far.
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods.
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of...
You demand, boss!
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach them a...
Lightning flash!
I got careless.
The wind knows me. Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of Kurosawa? Oh, I remember. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck. I knew he shouldn't have hit that place.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food supplies?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box, hopefully with... I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself once we... But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That...
You've got a deal! Now show us what's in the box!
Huh?
What the...
There's nothing in here, but I...
Yeah, a lot of them too! And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of the... As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our paths don't cross...
Yes, so we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean...
Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Or perhaps there's something you want to... Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off his debt.
Whoa, whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where they all came from. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy...
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOUs to cover what...
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increase...
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the...
Wow. Kurosawa was purchasing all the emergency provisions at his own... And no one ever appreciated what he did. They just complained.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, no, but... if you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, then there wouldn't be such a severe backlash now. Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thankless deed. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, if you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me, it seems that his vision was recently most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear.
Sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a... I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it... In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide you with the Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today's bill.
But we didn't buy it!
Information is also a kind of... Don't worry, I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was a...
At least we now know where the emergency provisions are coming from. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again. What are you doing here all by yourself?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. They left. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Perhaps I should start Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions, but they were all purchased at your own
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me, why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult But I could not deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow... This sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. What did he say? It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. All I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade and said to me, with this...
Hey! If you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the... Can you recognize the words?
Virtue and justice? Somehow those two words seem to taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess that must have been my greatest but what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need. The Tenryo Commission seized my vision, and the very people I was so desperately trying to help. And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry. I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm equally unable to be bad.
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. The Yashiro Commission would surely help cover his expense. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all ambition is a terrible Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul.
Is it just me, or are there more Outlanders now?
The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a Paimon heard that he's the present-day master of Make-Your... This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people...
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong.
Maybe, but things have gotten dangerous before.
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place, he'll be right as rain in no time.
Hey there!
Who are you? don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live.
No, you got it so wrong. We just came here to,
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Make-Yosh, but then we got here and overheard you talking about how he got...
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're from around here. Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Sensei's name is Domon, a name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent sword masters. He once said that his goal was to become the best swordman. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor truly... But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He says the strangest things over and over, and he refuses to let us train. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed, but if I'm honest, I still have my...
The Grand Narukami Shrine? What's that?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun herself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine, so don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just... The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both more than welcome to come and...
So, losing your vision can cause possession? Guess we should come back this evening and see for ourselves.
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, when she asked him who the people were, he suddenly it looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew. Others we didn't recognize. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the ritual has now begun. All we can do is... Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up...
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the exorcism? We won't let them get away with it. Come on! Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious person sighted! Let's go!
How did you catch up? Are you sure you're Domon's disciple? Unless... I guess...
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the question, and what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You seem like bad news.
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon. I don't care to talk about that time anymore.
His senior? What?
Anzai? Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same sword master. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone practitioners of Make-Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve stillness of, but Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best sword. I thought so too at the time. But Domon began making swift progress in his training. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing.
Sure sounds like he meant business. So how come you don't want to ever see him again?
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced. After that, I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down, though, So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them. I decided to quietly come and see if it... So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. Okay, you've heard my story. You should get back.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back.
You're sick? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible?
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit, but spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I can... And all is certainly not lost, for
Lady Yai? Is that the same Lady Yai that I think you mean?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news! Then Sensei will be sure to recover!
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience in the exorcism of evil spirits, and I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei. But
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we...
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. Lady, I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken notice of our sensei's case?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yai's attention?
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact with the almighty Shogun herself. Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow. Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei, we, the disciples of Make-Yoshi Sui art, will do our...
Sure! After all, everyone seems pretty excited about Lady Yai. We're curious to meet her. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the Raiden children from her.
Try again.
Do you think that's Lady Yai? Oh, no wonder Junya is so excited. She has a really striking presence. Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us just now? It was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever seen us before.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past, gathered all—
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way, he would always face it.
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
But
Then does that... yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descends as one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament. It does nothing to prevent his descent into the depths. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of...
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve it. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Lady, I'm not sure I understand. The path of the swordmaster is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly descended into this... much like a certain fatally... Poor sensei. To think he's been suffering so great.
I'm sorry. It's all my father.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Anzai? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Anzai? Why are there two of you? Is that you or... You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come. I never...
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak. You taught them that, didn't you?
But what if one day... the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it was all a huge mistake right from the start? If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would follow. I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. All I know is that here and now, I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head.
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us think that way.
Goodness.
You see? You can place the ambition you once had in their hands. Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. That's what happened. So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, it is time for you to release yours. You are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my name. But you have a great number.
I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for the state of Meikyo Shisui. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me will not abate, so I cannot hope to still my mind. But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything I have learned in my life, so this is my promise. And I humbly ask Anzai, my senior, to hold me to my word.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you hadn't... But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore. Well, don't just stand there staring at me. Say thank you to Lady Yai and then get yourself back home.
So even though his ambition was taken away, His disciples can take it over.
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some words for you.
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
Ooh, Lady Yai seems to have taken a real interest in you. She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so curious what she really meant by all that. We can come back to it another time. For now, we should go report back to Miss Kamisato.
Of the Electro